Hello guys and welcome back to the Call of Duty World Championships 2019. My name is Tun. For the first time ever, somehow,
I don't know.
we've both been casting for Yes. Yeah. Don't start.
I'm sorry. I had to
start.
do something. I apologize.
But we've both been casting for years. We've never cast together, but here we are now, Landon. Very nice to have you
buddy.
here, of course. And we've got a nice little game on our hands, UYU versus Vanity. It should be a relatively interesting one.
I'm kind of excited to watch this. I know, like I said, UYU kind of currently hasn't looked the greatest when it came down to, Miami, obviously. Vanity, kind of an upcoming roster who you actually got to watch, right, at amateur finals as well. They played very, very well. When it kind of came down to more top rosters, it may have been different. But I think for these two, this could actually, have the possibility of going to a Game 4, if not Game 5. It has the capability, I'll say that.
It has the capability. Probability is we
right,
sort of really are leaning towards UYU, aren't we?
I think so, yeah.
We are in the UYU camp on this one. Vanity are a team that we've seen a lot of, flashy stuff from them. When they won games, they look great. When they didn't, nobody really looks that good when they lose, but you know what I mean. They lost games badly, but when they were winning, they were looking really solid. But here we go. Here are the groups. They are, of course, in Group E alongside Luminosity and Singularity, who will also be playing against each other while this one does go on. This group, though, realistically, a lot of people are saying Luminosity, UYU for this one.
Right.
Are you expecting anything from Singularity? Because, for me personally, their European team, would love to see them go far. Right. They did pretty well in Miami, albeit I don't want to say they got blessed by a good bracket or anything, but they got a little bit of an easier one than maybe expected with some of the upsets that did come through.
Yeah.
They're a team that could cause some problems, but I think third, fourth is quite hard to distinguish. They're both looking at UYU, though, aren't they? Nobody's really looking at LG thinking of taking that top spot right now.
I think it's Luminosity by far at the top of the mountain, just that would be great, but realistically, UYU, I think there could be, a cause for a little bit of a difference. I think Singularity is a talented roster. Like you said, there is only so much to kind of look out for them, but I've been hearing some good things about their roster, like you kind of mentioned at amateur finals. Obviously, they had a pretty good kind of bracket lined up for them, but I think this is going to be, for me, it's going to be a battle of who can take down UYU first. If it's a matter of Singularity doing it, well, hey, that's kind of their opportunity to take the group. So I think this is going to be a huge matchup for Vanity, right? If they can get UYU out of the picture, then their main focus is how do we prepare for Singularity? How do we keep ourselves kind of up in terms of this group? So I think, like I said, for UYU, it's a matter of staying afloat. If it's for Vanity, hey, that's what you want when you are considering some other talented teams in your group.
And something that me and Bryce spoke about this morning when we kicked things off, we've seen E United against RBL, is that the pressure isn't necessarily there for these lower seeded teams. It is to a point, you're champs, you want to do as well as you can, but the pressure is really on these professional teams who have been in the Pro League all year long. They are expected to win their games for the most part, of course. UYU are fully expected on paper to win this game. However, as I said, there has been some question marks around their player this year. There has been some issues here and there. They haven't necessarily had the best year at all.
Yeah.
They've had a couple of flashes, I would say. We've seen a couple of decent performances from them, but never anything that thinks, wow, UYU look really great. They look okay. Yeah. Let's be honest. But we do expect them to win.
I think we do, and like I said, with the guys who are on this lineup too. I mean, you look at the roster of UYU, and it's hey, we got some veterans on this team. You talk about Methods and Saints. You got the entire group here who absolutely have the capability to really make some work happen. So I think while they haven't looked the greatest, obviously, when it's came down to their recent placements, Champs is where they lined up. Champs is their opportunity to say, hey, you know what, coming into next year, coming into the future titles, we really want to make sure that we are obviously on the up and up. And I think for them, this could be their opportunity. Like I said, in the brightest of moments, take down this top amateur roster who, like you said, probably doesn't have as much pressure because UYU, you have the second seed. That provides a little bit of something. So I'm excited to watch this matchup, though, and I think that UYU, if given the right circumstances, if they're all firing, they could be a talented roster. Yeah, despite recent performances.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You just have to look at Methods. The year that he had last year, up and down, especially down towards the rear end. It didn't look good. But at the same time, not necessarily a good champs last year. Maybe he wants to rectify that here. They 100%. Have got a relatively decent pool, I would say. You look at this pool, you definitely do believe that UYU should be coming second, realistically. However, we do say Vanity do have something to offer here. Can they show that on map number 1, though? Arsenal Hardpoint. I don't mind this for them. The guy to watch for Vanity, for me, they all had their moments, but Awakening is insane. This guy was tearing apart Mindfreak, albeit that Mindfreak squad wasn't necessarily the same one we've seen all year long, based on that performance, of course. But realistically, they're a very, very solid team. I'm looking forward to see what they do in the respawn.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair estimate, for Vanity. In terms of their game plan, I think they're really really hoping for a hardpoint W. I know there's been a few interviews with some of the players, and what their strong suit is search and destroy. If you look at the other camp, UYU, their strong suit, search and destroy. So if you can come out, get a dominant hardpoint victory for either of these two teams, that is only going to be a benefit, because whoever comes into that search and destroy, however which way it goes, kind of have that game one hardpoint already at your back would be fantastic. So, like I said, this is going to be a huge game to kind of start us off, and honestly, this game one could decide a lot of the series.
Well, Awakening get something done in the beginning of the game. Right, first and foremost, Codcaster, who chose black? Who chose black on the minimap? Come on, man, I can't read anything. Anyway, here we go. We're going to get into the game. It is going to be Vanity locking this one down initially. And this hill is one of those, isn't it, Landon? You can't really stack up plenty of points yet. Landon himself on it, that's going to be confusing. Landon on Vanity finding two straight off the rip yet.
I've been kind of, like, people always assume, because I talk about Landon a lot, obviously not myself, the player, right, to be more specific, and everyone's like, yeah, you just like him because he has the same name as you. It's like, no, this guy's actually insane. Like, he's very, very talented, and based off the initial stage, right, 40-0, no seconds going to UYU, and as you called it incorrectly, this hill contest fed. That's what it is. Yeah. It is a matter of just constant battles back and forth. Obviously, if you get the ICRs off to the sides, you're in a much better position. But look at this. All those red arrows, they are by no means in a good position to kind of take over this hill right now. That is a solid 60-0 off the rip, which, Vanity, this is fantastic for them.
Yeah, literally couldn't have went better so far. The fights towards the back are going to be important. It does look like UYU are momentarily winning those. It is going to be Reaper towards the back. He has found one, but did get taken down, so UYU do get the spawns initially. But the problem is that they haven't won any of the other kills. They win a couple at the back, but that's pretty much it. They actually do get in and get their first points on the board here. Dilo pushing forward with Song in hand. Shot's going to go through, but does get taken down towards Elbow. Just a big ICR fight going on between these two teams. And if you look at UYU, that's one of their strengths, you would say, their ICR player methods. You have to look at him and say, he's top caliber, a slow AR player. You would expect them to do well on this one.
Oh, 100%, right? This is your opportunity. I mean, Arsenal favors a lot of the Maddoxes, favors a lot of the ICRs, and that to me makes this fight so interesting. Kind of watch, you know, Phantoms, etc., methods versus Landon and co, because this is going to be kind of what decides a lot of these rotations. Who gets the majority of these points? Who gets the spawns off the rip? Which clearly has been in favor of Vanity already, but you notice, right, they rush into Statue, they immediately gain control, and that first wave of UYU instantly gets silenced. However, they rush back into the hill, and they will take it over. So some much-needed seconds finally going toward the red side. But to no avail, they've got a big battle just in front. A few players trying to make their way in through halls, and that is going to be Blastful. He's primed and ready for it.
Yeah, I'm going to get the kills here on the second push coming in from Vanity, so they are going to be able to lock down the majority of this time, if not all of it, and will find themselves back into this game. As we move over towards Guns, though, it is only going to be Classic there from his team. He will get taken down momentarily inside of Windows, but here comes UYU's push. Has to be a good one. It does seem as if Vanity are set up for this one. Awakening is there with Landon as well. Well, it is going to go down from Saints. There's some good entry kills coming in here for UYU. They're going to find one. Phantoms finds a second inside the hill as well, but Reaper's going to have to come and help out here. Full force of UYU coming through the front door here, Landon.
Yeah, see if they can start to withhold a little bit of this, but nice kill comes through from Saints, Methods, Blastful, all of them getting involved in that kill feed, which is so huge right now for UYU, right? They start off this game slow. Vanity, off of every single rotation, has been here first. They have been set up. They've had those initials. They've set up camp, and UYU time and time again is breaking through their setups. However, you're looking at things now. It looks as if it will be a successful moment right now for Vanity. Awakening, just looking for a little bit of some solace, just has his teammates around him, which is going to be great. So they will reach that 100-point mark first, but it did not come without its struggles, and UYU kind of toward these last few hills trying to have looked so much better.
Yeah, it's been so much better from UYU, but Vanity very much still in control of this game. Awakening super close to getting a hold of his Tag 5 already. Look at the other side of things, Phantom's not even halfway, so looking good on the specialist side of things for Vanity. Dilo, 13-5 right now on a 5 streak. Let's go on board with Dilo if we can quickly, because he's going to be real close to getting some streaks. He's bobbing and diving where he can. If he can find this kill, he'll be super close. Finds two up top window. Really good stuff out of Vanity. They're going to pop the war machine here. 6 bullets in the chamber, ready to force them away. And this will be for streaks. This is a big, important kill potentially coming in. Classic. Is he aware of what's going on here? Flak has been popped. Somebody at least watching for UYU. Dilo now, is he going to be able to find anything with it? Is going to eventually get an assist and will get a hold of that lightning strike.
Yeah, just very, very well played, kind of coming out there from D'Lo. You know, granted, obviously drops, but he had streaks. He was pretty much just holding down that point of view. I mean, constant explosives. UYU, they're not going to rush through it. They're not going to try to make anything happen with that. So, while it does not equal out to a kill, I think it did, you know, it was useful. It did help them out in the end of things. So, good play from D'Lo, man. But 15-6, I know in terms of the SOG play, it's usually Willett, who's kind of that entry, so it kind of sets up D'Lo for a lot of these big moments. Unfortunately, he falls. The stun in is fantastic there for UYU. However, Awakening is there to counter, and we know how well they played off of this first kill. The first time around, they looked fantastic, 60-0 pretty much, and they're bringing in that TAC 5 boost. They're bringing in a lot here.
Yeah, they can lock down this final 40 seconds. If you can see D'Lo holding down window side, and they're going to be in a really good spot. Saints is going to be able to trade one away, but Rico is there to trade back. Should be able to hold Window's side. They're just about holding the front door as well. Window now in control of UYU, but the damage is already done at this point, Lando. Yeah. Look at all the points on the board for Vanity. A fantastic start by them. 20 seconds to go here on hill number 1. They're going to be looking at a potential 80 to 90 point lead going into P2 here.
Yeah, if you're UYU, you need something, right? You need to spawn. You need to kind of find these initial frags, because if not, things are starting to get away. Things are starting to stray away. And you notice Willett and Co. They're looking for this push. They're looking kind of toward this backside in terms of trying to make something happen. But D'Lo, there we go, calls in the lightning strike. Unfortunately, his teammates are not really able to follow up with it, but it looks as if roles reversed. It looks as if Blastful again alongside of his teammates. That great team shot takes down another Vanity member, as I believe that was D'Lo. So he was going to be the guy who pretty much entered and tried to follow up to the rest of the roster, but much needed time going to UYU, and they are responding here, Tony.
Yeah, and to be honest, I didn't mind that from Vanity at all. They called in the streak to get a hold of the spawns towards
it's the most open hill in the game. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to pop it in at this point. To be honest with you, they pop the streaks. They really just don't find anything else for it though. They get the spawns and then they all get wiped. So you still have to win your good fights to a point.
Okay, Blast.
But here we go. Blast now heating up himself. Lightning strike available for him. Saints also with one for UYU. 50 points is the deficit right now, and it is going to be the rest of the time going over towards UYU. They are going to be slow on the transition, but they can afford to be, right? They've got 2 lightning strikes available. We expect to see them at least called in pretty quickly. We can see Saints is setting up here. Here comes the lightning strike from him. It's going to force Vanity to have to push out. They will catch them out where they need to. It's a flawless break by UYU over towards P3. Vanity are now pushed back towards the backstairs spawn. And they've got to fight their way through the front door. And a Tempest coming in from Blast. Looking good here for UYU. They may still be well behind, but they're definitely back in this game, Landon.
Oh, absolutely. They're looking incredible right now. You talk about the streaks. You talk about the specialist usage. It has been electric, to say the least. It's Blastful waiting for someone to hop in the blindside and takes down Willett in the midst of trying to go for the grab slam. Wonderfully played by the boys on UYU, as they are absolutely in this. Has the fists out. No worries. The Maddox gets grabbed. And my word, UYU at the start of this game, it was looking grim, but absolutely not anymore, as they gain some resurgence and are starting to gain a little bit toward Vanity. But this rotation is going to be huge. Vanity have got to keep composure here, Ton.
That was phenomenal from Blast. He knew it was coming in. He sees it's a Ruin player pushing. He lines it up where he's going to push towards it, and he shuts down the grab slam with the Tempest. That is a big, big player. UYU still, albeit behind after all of that. The transition over towards P4, though, has belonged to them momentarily. The kills coming in, they are just about being traded in Vanity's favor. Blast answers back to that. UYU still in control, and for the first time will take a lead in map number 1. 2 streaks to play with as well. Their game to lose, you feel.
Oh, 100%, right? They've been looking fantastic as of recent. They've also got those streaks along with Blast and Saints, so if they can keep this one afloat, right, 30 seconds remain, and we covered how crucial this hard point is. Both of these teams search and destroy base. Vanity coming into this week was saying, hey, we need a respawn. This was theirs. This was their game, and they are just constantly being silenced right now. A few players, D'Lo to be one, and Blastful takes down Classic. Regardless, though, the transaction will work out in their favor. But Vanity, they've got a hold. They're within 19.
Let's see. UYU now are set up. Is there anything to play with if you're Vanity, though? Look, there's not really that much available, whereas if you're on the side of UYU, the streak comes in. Classic has a hold of his graph slam. You're looking towards Landon to try and get a hold. He's specialist, but here we go. Classic's going to make the push. Here comes the grab slam. Finds 2. That might be the break they need. It's only going to be D'Lo left all alone. Methods shuts him down. only 10 points away now, and everybody from Vanity has to come flooding through the mid-map, and UYU are just setting up for it here, Landon.
Yeah, and they seem to be in the driver's seat. Absolutely right. Just a few more seconds left. Here comes the vision pulse just to make things a little bit more awkward, and they will just run right through the blender, as that will be UYU off the rip. We were talking about it was like 222-15, and it was like, okay, they've taken the lead for the first time in this game, and they rode with it, right? Blastful's play, their fantastic rotations, they just hit another gear.
Yeah, and it comes down to the streaks as well. I think, you talk about Arsenal and you talk about streaks. How many of the hills are open as well, and they definitely helped them. Definitely helped UYU's case. And I think if you're Vanity, that's a tough loss, isn't it? It's one of those where you're in the league for such a long time in that game, and you go on to lose in the end. It's a difficult one to take, especially in their situation. They know they aren't going to be given many gifts by UYU.
Yeah, right.
That was a very close game up to a point, and then UYU, as I said, they just started rolling with the punches. They started to really heat up. But fantastic start from Vanity. If they do that the whole game, they win that, no questions asked.
Oh, yeah.
But UYU definitely stepped up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they had like a number of different players kind of stepping up toward the end, and like I said, this is the second seed, right? This is UYU. This is the team that you are looking to try and take down, get any advantage that you can. So I've called Vanity, obviously they're an amateur team, but they have veteran-like moments. That wasn't it right there, right? You need to clutch that one out. You need to hold on, and as you discussed, right, those streaks, especially in Arsenal, can be so good. And that was really, for me, the biggest factor of this game was their ability to not hold on, their ability to continually rotate, but were always broken. So I thought Vandy played, a solid hard point, not even just in the beginning stages, but they were rotating effectively. They were holding on to good setups, but UYU, they just constantly were breaking, and honestly, off the back of Blastful, a decent amount.
Yeah, Blastful played really well. I think you look at that Tempest play, that was a big one. That grab slam comes in from Willett, and then suddenly things are looking very, very different.
That was crazy.
on the other stream, though, we did see FaZe take their game when they were going up against the German squad of Animosity, of course. So they will top their group units against Mazer. Is still ongoing, but things are nicely poised at the moment, I feel. There's time for some upsets. We've already had one big one with Fuego taking Genji. By the way, you see Harry snap onto the second guy during that game.
Gosh,
crazy stuff from the youngster from the UK. But either way, that's the biggest upset that we've seen so far. Potential one on the cards here. UYU not quite as clean cut as they would have liked in their game number 1 against Vanity, but everything is shaping up quite nicely here in LA. How are you enjoying it? Is it your first champs?
It is my first champs casting. I was there back in Infinite Warfare, watched the Green Wolf capture their first title, which was fantastic to see.
I didn't get invited to that one. We'll not talk about it.
It's fine. It's not a big deal. I mean, I was just in the crowd enjoying a great experience, but man, like being here, obviously the entire crew has been incredible. Obviously, it's awesome to kind of talk to the casters, even the players, but you can just feel the intensity. I think there was JCap was kind of walking around X as well, and it's just like, hey, how you doing? Good. Laser focused. Like, compared to a regular event where it's like, hey, you're doing good. You catch up for a little while. You ask them a few questions. But no, this week it is solely laser focused. And you can kind of feel the intensity, even though it's pools and it's these conversations about, like the 4 seeds versus second and first seeds. It is straight up intense when you get toward I'm going to call it again, the passion pit back
there. It is. It's absolutely that case. I was saying to Bryce at the first game, it's very much like that old school LAN setup, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like face to face against each other. Yep. There's going to be that smack talk, which we haven't necessarily seen at a pro level.
It's only coming. It's all going to come.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing is as well, especially when you see the pros playing now, it's either side of the stage. Yeah. They aren't necessarily in each other's faces.
Right.
Whereas the guys who've been going through the open bracket all year are used to this. This is their environment. So I think, there's that for them as well. They can sometimes maybe try and get in their heads and see how it goes. But the environment is very, very different from a normal, typical event for the pros this year.
That's a very good point to mention. You have that environment. You kind of have that same aspect of, like you said, of just chairs back to back. You just you just turn your corner like, okay, how's that team doing? No, they're doing pretty good. Okay, that's something to look forward to. So yeah, I think for a number of different rosters, this is going to be great. But it only sets up for the brightest of stages. We've got a quick little gander at the stage up to this point. It looks incredible.
It's big. It's real big.
It's very, very big. That's that's without question. But are these amateur teams, are they going to be able to kind of be prepared for those? Because like you said, it is an environment that they're familiar with. They're kind of facing off against these teams kind of on their typical setup. But once you get toward that main stage, you got millions on the line. You've got tons of fans watching you at home, and the brightest of spotlights. Things change up a little bit. Those jitters start to definitely form, even with guys who have been in the finals multiple times. Even pros, they talk about champs. It's a different beast.
Yeah, total different beast. And it's where diamonds are made because of all the pressure, Landon, all the pressure.
Right?
Anyway, we're going over.
That. That's clever.
It was poorly put together in all honesty. But either way, Gridlock, we go over towards the search and destroy. And as mentioned, Vanity are a team who are looking to, I don't want to say rely on their search and destroy, but quietly be confident about it as they go in a series where they are needing to make an upset. UYU losing this would be an upset, let's see. What do we think, Atlanta? You think Vanity take this?
I feel like they have a really good chance, I'll be honest. Like, the way that they kind of looked in that hard point, I mean, their shots are obviously on. D'Lo for them is obviously a very talented search and destroy player as well, so you're looking for him to kind of follow up along with Willett. I think they'll be in a good spot, and I like this team, but at the same time, you're facing off against a group on UYU who have S&D in their blood. I mean, you look at guys like Phantom, Saints in his history as a great search and destroy. Blasphell comes from this community, so this will be their absolute test without question. UYU, this is their game mode. This is the one they're looking out for, and same thing with Vandy.
Big stack over towards the B site, and there's only a 3 versus 3. Willett finds another. It's the second of the round for him. He's not going to be able to quite find methods, but there you go. Vanity do take a hold of the bomb site. It's not too hard of a retake by UYU to have to come through. Phantoms, okay. He's going to take Reaper down. 2v2 now. That looks like a shot around the roll, but we'll not talk about that either. Willett now trying to get something done in and around Ice Cream. With double challenge comes through by UYU though, and suddenly it's landing in a 1 versus 2. Now went for a 2v3 to a 2v1 very, very quickly for UYU. Good round from them in the end, but you feel as a Vanity, maybe just get the bomb down there.
Yeah, and in that situation, you'd like to see them try to get that objective, kind of value that one first. But, you know, kind of the initial stages of these rounds, I mean, a lot of times for amateurs, it's a matter of you just want to meet the enemy team, you just want to face off against them. You just want that early 10-man team fight, and you just want to see how it works out. So I think that was kind of their mindset in that moment was, let's just try to go for the kills off the rip. It clearly does not work for them. Like I said, it came down to a 1 versus 2, of which, you know, could be somewhat viable, but in the end of things, does not go their way. And UYU, they've got the objectives on the back, and they are ready for these up-close and personal engagements over at A. And you notice there for the moment, Landon watching over towards Showers. That is the point of view. Look out for. As soon as he backs up, though, that's when Classic rushes in, and they've got a free bomb.
Yeah, free bomb plan coming in. I think that's just due to Vanity having only 2 members. They see the rush comes through. Now it's going to be the 5-on-5 retake. Everyone lining up for methods, not able to quite make it stick, but Blast and Phantoms do. Now 4v2. Classic does take down Willett. Simple enough round for UYU here, unless a miracle comes out of Dealer, but they got another kill on the board from Classic. 2-0 now. Looking good for UYU in the search and destroy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, too, we'll get to watch this best play from Blasphell because it was incredible, right? He has 3 players line up. I'm not sure if he got a tag on the 3rd one, but at least somewhat of an assistance. He gets the call out, gives that one to his squad mates. So that was a great kind of hold for UYU. Looks like they had a free bomb plant, and as long as they withstood the push from Vandy, they were going to be in a good spot. So while they were overwhelmed at times, it did not equal out to a situation of which they weren't comfortable. But now if you're Vandy, you're looking at that 2-0 scoreline saying, hey, we need something, and it's not shocking at all that we see them playing passive off the rip. They want to try to work for something. They want to try to get something in their favor. Look for a pick. That seems to be what their situation is right now, especially player number 5, right? Awakening, all by his lonesome over at B. If he can find that pick and top shot, that's what their key is, but he's yet to do anything.
Yeah, just doing the typical playing on an island, isn't it? It's one of those things you linger around with, you seem to do something and you can maybe make a move behind, but yeah, come the kills for UYU once again. It's those entry kills every single time. Just seem to be going in their direction. Awakening now in a 1 versus 4. I think in a 1 versus 3, do well. To manage to survive, should be taken down momentarily. Phantoms eventually does find him, and that will now 3-0 to UYU.
Yeah, good stuff for UYU, right? I mean, they've pretty much from the start of this game looked incredible, right? Offense, defense, it doesn't really matter. They've constantly been lining it up, and I said for Awakening, a decent highlight, but to no avail. It's just about the numbers, right? You can find all these kills that you want to, but if it's not equaling out to rounds, that is the defining factor. Yeah. And I noticed for a lot of teams, and I know it kind of in the last series that was obviously here on Charlie that we had between Reciprocity and Legend Status, the biggest problem that Legend Status had was team pushing. And normally you think in S&D, that's what these teams are known for, but it's just a matter of, I think a lot of these amateur teams, they're getting tunnel vision. They want to try to go for, you know, a quick few kills, and while that's nice, it's about the numbers. It's about having, you know, that 5v5, utilizing those to your advantage. And There we go again, Ton. They're just getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, it just seems to be the rushes coming in for UYU working every single time, and I think you're right. It can be a little bit tunnel vision. Awakening now, once again, last alive, and will go down. UYU looking dominant in this search and destroy. But I think just to preface what you said, when you see Awakening playing that role on the other side of the map, playing on island, trying to catch players out in transitions, etc. That's great if your team are making kills.
Yeah.
But that seems to be the problem. As I said, they're getting their heads down and running into people and not really doing anything in around the bomb site that's allowing that position to pay off from Awakening, because there's nobody to sort of bounce that transition off, if you know what I mean. So it's difficult. It's really difficult. I like the idea of what they're doing. It's just the execution's not quite there.
And I wonder, too, we haven't seen a sniper rifle get brought out from them. That's like the most common angle, as a sniper rifle kind of hangs on over on 18. They look for that pick in terms of top shot, but they've yet to really capitalize on it. Maybe it's just a matter of them not wanting to do anything too crazy, which if you're Vanity, this is your game mode. They came into this event saying, hey, we're looking for the one respawn. We are super confident in our search and destroys, and their confidence, it's getting rattled. 2 versus 5. Landon and Awakening. Landon yet to find a kill as of yet, and he's low on HP. He's waiting for Awakening to hopefully be able to find one, but their job is by no means over. It only has just started.
UYU sort of playing their hands there a little bit, so 3v2 now. 2 very easy kills found with the ICRs. The problem being is the bomb is not really anywhere near right now. They need to make a move through enemy territory here. UYU are going to be set up for this one though. Phantoms finds one. The cross is fantastic. Landon will do very well to win that round. That's 5 in a row for UYU now.
But even where the bomb is at, in that situation, you're in a 2 versus 3, you can't get there. There's nothing you can do. It's just a matter of trying to get through that UYU kind of wall, if you will. And they're not able to capitalize on it. Granted, they take down a few players, but generally, Ton, this goes, 4v1 situation if UYU, as you mentioned, wouldn't have kind of shown their hand. But speaking of numbers, 5-0. And as we discussed, Vandy, this was their game mode. This was their one of choice. And for them to be down the way that they are, I'm worried about that control, and I'm worried about this being a dominant 3-0.
I mean, the streaks are being pulled in too. Oh my God, that is as convincing of a search and destroy when you're ever likely to see. UYU 2-0 up now. Things sounded like they were going off on Delta. I wish we were watching that instead, because that was just an absolute drubbing coming out of UYU. 6-0. And every single round bar 1 was convincing. It was like 4 or 5v1 and multiple situations. So UYU's S&D looking very, very solid. Vanity's looking very, very rubbish, in all honesty. I mean, they didn't even win gunfights, etc. So it's hard even... It's hard to break it down. Say, what do you say? They just got ran over.
Yeah, it's nothing really more to be said other than that. And I think for them, too, it's just short-term memory. Let's focus on the control. Let's focus on a game mode of which, may or may not be looking the greatest for them. Like I said, they're focused on their S&Ds, of which they just got 6-0'd. So, but like I said, it all comes down to that hard point. They win the hard point, big deal. Search and destroy out of the way. We're 1-1. Control, okay, whatever. So that was huge for me whenever they lost that first hard point. Was okay, their confidence is a little bit shaken. They no longer kind of have that get out of jail free card, and they come into the search and destroy and get destroyed. To say the least, rubbish as you called it, which also is accurate. So
I think it was very accurate. I think
accurate. Yeah.
When you look at that first hard point as well, the fashion that they lost after being in the lead for so long, probably played a part in that search and destroy in terms of confidence. We are going to go to a quick break. Let's see if Vanity can bring it back in maps 3, 4, and 5. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Call of Duty World League Championships 2019 from sunny LA. It's nice to be in a country that isn't really cold and wet all the time, in all honesty. I mean, I'm sure America is in places like, but it's nice.
Definitely.
It's just nice to have some sun. And I am a pale guy. I'm not.
I am too. That's for sure. These lights may say otherwise, or I have no idea actually.
No. We look pale.
Okay, I was gonna say,
be honest, but
any confidence we had is just absolutely out of the
obliterated.
Self-appearance, no big deal. Not a problem.
We're in the map 3. Seaside looks sunny.
It does. A little bit of clouds, but no big deal.
The clouds very much over Vanity right now. It's not. I don't know why I went in that direction. I do apologize, guys. We're getting a little bit twisted here. We're trying to entertain you in some way, because Vanity are just not making this very entertaining so far. I'm expecting maybe a little bit better from them in the search and destroy. A lot better from them, in all honesty. As we go into map number 3, they are 2-0 down. not looking good for them, in all honesty. I think after the first map, you're like, all right, they did okay. But I think it was a confidence thing. In map number 1, they then get caught up. We're definitely not starting this game in that case then, okay. But yeah, it was one of those things where the hard point, if that was direction, if they took that hard point, you definitely feel as if there would have been some more confidence in that.
Oh yeah, I think so.
It definitely could have been a negative mindset thing.
It could have been. Like I said, when you get to champs, it's just a different beast. And like we talked about, it is kind of a similar environment as we were talking about. They do have teams kind of all a spread. They're not necessarily on top of each other, but they're not too far away. So like I said, it is interesting because you're at this point where you enter in toward the hard point, as you mentioned, right? Close game. They were in the driver's seat. I mean, till we got to like 200 points, that was when finally UYU started to take the advantage. We had in the search and destroy, of which they feel without question the most confident in, and they get 6-0. So I think confidence somewhat out of the water, which for an amateur team, it's difficult. And you're looking at somebody to try to lead the team. And from what I've heard, Willett is kind of their IGL. He's also a very talented player, kind of the entry SOG for them. So I think they're going to rely on him quite a bit. He has the most experience for this team. He's previously been kind of a search and destroy-minded player. So I think for them, they're relying on any kind of positive vibes, any positive communication they can get, because it is looking very grim. A close hardpoint loss and then a dominant search and destroy loss as well. There's not really a whole lot to look for. Oh, it absolutely is. But Seaside, we've seen crazy things happen in previous, right? Respawn.
We have.
Seaside, name a better duo. Comebacks in Seaside, name a better duo than that. Probably can't. I mean, except for us, but
I mean, I would say that, but you did start trying to imitate my voice, like straight from the rip. So I mean, we got some growing to do.
I just find the British accent very fascinating. I do. What can I say?
Nothing in the British accent ever again, preferably.
All right, I'll do my best to not say anything related to it whatsoever. How about that? Is it a deal?
Excellent.
Is it a handshake off camera?
How
about Knuckles? There we go.
We get in the Seaside either way onto the control. UYU looking to close this out in 3. You feel as if with the way those first 2 maps have gone, the situation that has presented itself, we're not going to be too surprised if that is the case. Awakening going to get taken down by methods who just reads minds, apparently. Awakening pushing that one a little bit weak though, and is going to get caught out. But the initial push by UYU over towards A is a little bit soft, if you like. A couple of kills do come in for them, but not enough to get a total hold on it.
For sure, it looks as if already Blastful trying to make his way, just wrapped around and took down Awakening in the process of that. So you see the trophies down, trying to set up some camp as Methods. RK7, we know how fantastic that weapon can be, and actually switches over toward a SOG. And in these up close and personal fights, it is going to be necessary, but they have started stacking the hill. They're in the midst of trying to get their first tick. When it comes down to B, and we know this particular one is a lot easier to hold on to, or rather to break into right if you're UYU, and Saints is absolutely helping, takes down 3, and that's going to be UYU in a fantastic situation.
Yeah, they should be. Landon and Reaper have done well to hold that one down towards the back. They have maybe slowed down the progress that UYU are expecting. Still a 1-kill lead for them, and Danny are going to have another really big stab at this one. 3 men hit it out at. 2 of them go down. Landon is left alive. It is going to be traded away though. Awakening does find Saints. And he's all alone. Not a lot of help. Beams blast though. There you go. That's going to slow down the capture. Should really still go over towards UYU. You can see Vanity do seem to be just leaving Awakening to try and deal with it. Try and do what he can. I'll tell you what, he's not done too bad at all. And a valiant effort in the end. It comes to nothing. Either way, they do get a hold of B. And not really much map control here for them either. Vanity set up quite nicely.
And they're actually the players up in the face of Kilo. Willett, like you said, those SOGs, they were doing their job before. At least one of them, rather both now, have been taken out. So good situation for Vanity, like you said, just trying to distance UYU to get them in the back of the base as long as they can. And it may be a push through barrels, which I like this call. Saints the first one to try to engage, and it looks as if fists are out, SOGs are out. And it looks as if they should be able to take this one pretty well in terms of the current team fight, as there goes Willett. So UYU slowly but surely progressing on, but they've got nothing accomplished in terms of the hill.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Like, some teams can maybe play kills a little bit too much, and it doesn't really get any further forward apart from whittling down the time in terms of kills left alive and time left on the actual scoreboard as well. So let's see. Vanity now holding quite nicely. Good kills coming in from Classic and Phantoms. Phantoms as SMG there working a lot better than you would expect. 85 points remaining for him to get a hold of his lightning strike as well. This one is done and dusted, you would think. Okay, 4v2. 2 kills go in favour of Vanity now. I think if you're Phantoms, you really want to try and concentrate on getting a hold of these streaks if you can. 2v4, and he catches him with the grenade as well. That's an unfortunate situation for UYU. Now 1v3 for Reaper. It will be quite the tall order, but either way, an important kill does come in for him.
Yeah.
They will lose the round, and with some silver linings.
Yeah, and at least they did take down Phantoms, like I said, off streaks as well, so that's going to be nice, but like I said, it's just a matter of trying to pick as many positives as you possibly can. And kind of from the rip, I think that it was somewhat of a confidence booster for Vanity. They held off pretty well when it came down to market. I think, what, there's maybe 45, 50 seconds left when it came down to this one before they finally managed to capture it, but we'll see if that can carry over into this next round. The one positive of being on offense is that when you initially make that rush, A and B, not too far away whatsoever, right? You got Church, you've also got Market, pretty much just in unison in a very short path, so we'll see if they can utilize it on their very first offensive round. Looks as if Blastful already seeing a few players toward the skies and takes down Willet instantly. That will be a very well-deserved first blood. Skeet shooting on Seaside. You love to see it, and Blastful, he's all holding on to the Church. Looking like a Monarch right now. Silences Reaper, and Vanity instantly foiled.
Play out of UYU. Now we're going to be able to lock this one down momentarily. Good push through Vanity, from Vanity in the end. You know, I didn't hit it. You know, we do often see the air push coming off the rib, but really good stuff in the end from Blast, who has been very, very good this series. Reaper now just trying to get something working here, and it just seems as if every time Vanity ask a question, I should say, UYU have the answer. Every single time they just seem to be there on another level right now, and Vanity can't get anything going. Now I'm going to push over towards B though. Keep an eye on Blast, who is behind them. Maybe it'll cause some problems, at least develop a pinch. He should be dead momentarily, but he's added the pressure there. He's put the pressure there where it needs to be. Blast is still alive. Eventually he does get traded out by Willett, but it's an easy enough hold by UYU. It's a 5-kill difference as well. Things not looking great for Vanity here, Lando.
Yeah, time's starting to tick away. And on offense, they need some sort of progression. Here comes the TAC 5 boost, which is only going to make Vanity's lives that much more difficult. Here's the first. Classic takes him down and also shuts down Landon as well. A lovely group of kills coming in from Classic. Phantoms will find the fourth, and that is Vanity all the way in the backside of their spawn, as it is starting to get away from them here, Ton. They've got to make some sort of a push, and this is it. You don't get this team push, and you are down 2-0.
It's a big push over towards it. They need a nearly flawless game of control here. They are going to be able to break through. Blast is going to find one over towards B and will get a hold of his Tempest, but the rotation will come in. Vanity now setting up towards A. So obvious intent. Saints now in the spawn as well, causing problems where he can, but this needs to be big from Vanity. This needs to be nearly flawless. Kills coming in here from Blast once again. He continues going. The kills coming in for Vanity momentarily, but not able to quite finish it off. 5 seconds remaining. They are going to get inside of B, but look at that kill difference. 16-6 right now. Phantoms has streaks as well. Gets them second time of asking. And, you know, if you're UYU, you could even give this up.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, really could.
I mean, hey, if things aren't going your way, you just drop 3 players. Try not to get too out of your hands. They will capture it, so an extra minute now locked in, but only 4 lives left. Willett off of that spawn just wants to get with his squad mates as quickly as possible. And as really for them, it's like a search and destroy round, right? I mean, it's pretty much just valuing your life. That is the key factor. And so they do have some specialists, but they're down just by so much. The call, I'm sure, and Willett, who's kind of the IGL for them, what do you say at this moment? You're dropping players left and right. You're down to your final 2, and it's, hey, guys, we're going to be down 2-0 in this control as there is a 1v12. So Reaper got to live up to his name, I guess, in this situation. But it's going to be a very interesting conversation in terms of the comms, because at this moment, nothing has gone your way. Nothing. And this control has been somewhat one-sided. I mean, we looked good in the first round, but generally, it has been all UYU in terms of the man count, in terms of everything.
It's been convincing, hasn't it? I think, you know, they've won the battles they needed to. Vanity can take small victories from a couple of little things here and there, but this has not been a good performance from them so far. I really would expect a little bit more. I really, really did expect a little bit more.
I mean, I said I was talking to you kind of coming into the series, and I was like, yeah, I really wouldn't be super surprised if we maybe saw a Game 4, maybe a Game 5, if I'm pushing it.
Yeah.
But
it still could.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's not looking like it.
I'm just curious how much that hardpoint weighed on their minds. Like,
yeah.
Did it really, was that the thing that kind of triggered them a little bit? Because the search and destroy, I mean, you got to at least win one round, right?
You would think. It's being a team who are notoriously good at search and destroy, that this could be a squad that caused some issues to UYU, especially after close map number 1. You go to search and destroy, you say it right, we can be forced to close hardpoint as well. If we can now go on to win this search and destroy, we're not in a bad spot, but they're in a really bad spot in this control now. The kills momentarily are in the favor of UYU. Only by 2 though. They are on the attack. We can see them transitioning over towards B. It's that initial A push that you see happen. They get a couple of kills. Even if they don't get much progress, they can then rotate back over towards B. Add a minute to the clock and make things all that easier. 14-6 for Phantoms right now. 2 streaks available for him. You know how important they can be on this map. This is looking like a real quick series, Lando.
It absolutely is. We do have some specialists, right? And as soon as I called that out, all 3 of their specialist players who could have had some sort of an interesting moment all end up getting taken down. So B, it's just a matter of being captured. That one will be locked down in their favor, but they've got one player who is just about to distance himself off. So yes, B captured, man count in their favor, and they've also got some specialists as well. But here comes Classic, and here comes the Tempest as Blastful is silencing them over and over, rinse and repeat. Vanity, pillar by pillar, player by player, starting to drop, and Reaper. Consolation kills is what it seems right now here, Ton. They're pulling out the Tempest. They're doing everything they can, but this will be a victory in the camp of UYU, a much-needed one considering how this pool is looking, but that is some confidence being displayed.
Some confidence and some dominance being displayed by UYU. That was just a fantastic win for them. That will give them a lot going into the next couple of games. And they would have looked at that as a bit of a danger. They absolutely would have. And Vanity just didn't show up, especially map 2 and 3. I think, map number 1, excuse me, they absolutely give it their all. And then from there, it just fell apart. It's quite a shame. I think if we'd seen a series based on what we've seen about number 1, then you absolutely think, we've got something to work with here. Right. We've got some close maps, we've got a close series. But after map number 1, Vanity just didn't show up, so really difficult. I think you wonder if it could be that first map just played on their minds. They were in a good position. Maybe somebody said something, saying, well, how have we not won that? Got a little bit angry in the middle of a series, and that has then put them in a position in a negative mindset. And that's...
It could,
it seems like a 6-0, 3-0 control. It's flawless from UYU. You have to say at the same time. They played very, very well, turning up where they needed to, but I think a questionable performance from Vanity.
Yeah, it definitely was, and I'll be honest, this was my sleeper team kind of coming into this weekend of Vanity. I've been able to watch them play a ton, right? Obviously, when they were previously known as Excalibur, for those who may be saying, wait, Vanity, is that the same one? It was previously known as Excalibur, right? So these guys, they've been making some noise. They've been playing pretty well when it comes into online tournaments in preparation for champs, but the bright stage, man, you get to this point, you get to this level, and it is a different beast. Every roster, every player has something to prove, and Vanity did not really prove a whole lot there, and we'll see what they can do in terms of the rest of their matches. But for everybody in this group right now, the storyline of this pool is saying, hey, UYU, they're beatable. They haven't looked the greatest, especially when it came down to Miami. But, hey, that's a 3-0 dominant victory. And like I said, if you are Vanity right now, you're licking your wounds and just hoping for some sort of a blessing when it comes down to the rest of your series.
Yeah, it's looking really slow for them if they play like that throughout the rest of the next 2 days. Of course, they do want to make bracket play. They still have to get through groups. So we've got plenty more groups games to go through as well. We'll have some more here on Charlie after this quick commercial break.